everyone, and welcome to the Appalachian Weekly News. I'm Hayden Autry.
And I'm Josh Hemphill. Over the past few months, many events have occurred within App State Student Government Organization, including impeachment of former President Keewaunee Brown and Vice President Alejandro Barreto.
Now, it appears that things have gotten so out of hand that the university had to step in and do something unprecedented. Our reporter Noda Cornelius has the story.
I'm suspending the rules of engagement for the Student Government Association effective immediately.
Suspended immediately. Those were the words said by J.J. Brown, Vice Chancellor of Student Affairs at Appalachian State University Tuesday night. Some reports originally stated that SGA had been suspended indefinitely. However, in speaking with Megan Hayes from University Communications, I learned this was not the case. In a comment from Megan Hayes for the Appalachian Weekly News, she stated, SGA as an organization has not been suspended. The action taken Tuesday night is a temporary suspension of the rules of engagement rather than an interim suspension of a student organization as defined by the Code of Student Conduct. However, one of the most alarming aspects of this situation has been a legal settlement between SGA former president and vice presidents Keewaunee Brown and Alejandro Barreto, respectively. So I contacted them myself. Just tell us a little bit about what happened.
After our impeachment process, Alejandro and I sought an attorney in order to clear our names, and that's what we did. We did ask SGA to rescind their decision to remove us from office, and we did ask the university to give us our entitlements to our scholarships, and both of those were agreed upon in our settlement.
In response to the suspension, current SGA President Gabe Montalbano released a statement saying the Montalbano-Kukral administration had no prior knowledge or allowed involvement with any of the choices made for the SGA tonight. The executive branch will carry on representing students with or without formal recognition by administration. If the university is going to force the SGA to change its constitution, it would be crucial to have the executive branch present, as it's the only group with more than 1 year of experience currently in SGA. But whereas Montalbano says they had no prior knowledge, Megan Hayes says SGA advisor Jeff Cathy and Vice Chancellor Brown provided the SGA Executive Committee with advance notice of Vice Chancellor Brown's intent to suspend the rules of engagement. Notably, Assistant Vice Chancellor Cathy met with the SGA Executive Committee prior to the regularly scheduled SGA meeting, at which Vice Chancellor Brown gave his remarks.
18-year-old App State student Pierce Chase is facing charges of communicating a threat of mass violence on educational property, a Class H felony. App State police say the threats were directed to the campus community via the social media app Yik Yak. They say the posts were made from a phone located on campus, leading to the arrest later that day. No weapons were found during a search of his residence, and police have determined there was no threat to the danger of the community. He is currently out on bond.
And now to our other top story, the suspected rise of roofies being used in local bars. When living in a college town, it's normal for college students to go out to bars Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. But are the students always protected and safe at the local bars around Boone? Our reporter Shannon Pendleton has more.
Having a night out is supposed to be safe and fun, but this is not always true. There are many cases where students are reporting of being drugged at local bars. So is there a rise in date rape drugs in Boone? I talked to one App State student and she told me her story.
On a Thursday night in February, Madison Brown and her friend went to Boone Saloon for a few drinks and a show. Upon arriving at the bar, a man bought her a drink, she took it, later walked downstairs, and that was the last thing she remembered. The next day, she went to Watauga Medical Center requesting a drug testing kit, but they refused to give her one. Brown talks about why she thinks her request was not taken seriously.
I think that women are kind of just viewed as the boy who cried wolf. And I think that it happens so much in this town that women are drugged, that women are sexually assaulted, that then when they come forward, it's just kind of like, oh, okay, another one, you know? It's not taken seriously.
Brown also contacted the Boone Police Department and the owner of the bar, who provided her with little to no support or resources. So she took matters into her own hands and posted her story on a Facebook group called Appalachian Classifieds. Brown talks about how there are many stories like hers from a variety of spots in Boone.
It's not only saloon, it's ale house, it's tap room, it was ransom. So it's happening in all of the bars. And, you know, before I'd even come out with my story, just word of mouth, I've heard from many people, oh, my friend was drugged last weekend, or me and my whole group of friends were drugged, or my boyfriend was drugged. So it's absolutely a problem.
There are many times when situations like this don't go reported and victims don't speak out, but they are still happening around you. Brown talks about why she thinks so many of these cases go unreported.
When addressing not only drugging but sexual assault cases, there's a really big discrepancy between what people expect to happen immediately and what actually happens. For a lot of victims, it's really hard to come forward with your story to begin with, because it not only brings up all these negative emotions that you will have to relay time over time again.
Watauga Medical Center, Boone Police Department, and Boone Saloon were not able to comment at this time on this issue. I'm Shannon Pendleton for the Appalachian Weekly News.
Graduation season is quickly approaching, and many students are looking to begin their careers or get a feel through internships. On March 1st, App State's Career Development Center hosted their annual Internship and Jobs Fair in the Holmes Convocation Center. More than 200 employers attended the event, among them Hearst Television and their local news affiliate, WXII-12 News, Winston-Salem.
We have 33 TV stations across the country, and we're looking for jobs, various positions, whether it's producing, photojournalists, reporters, you name it, we run the gamut of it.
When I came to Hearst, it was just a completely different environment. There was a ton of resources for the people involved, and they really helped you grow and learn and become better at what you did.
For more information about events hosted by the Career Development Center, visit careers.appstate.edu.
2 weeks ago, I had the opportunity to cover the second annual Boondocks Film Festival, an event that looks to highlight short films from around the high country. If you had the opportunity to go to the event, you might have seen some familiar faces. Lights, camera, action. The Boondocks Film Festival took place on February 25th at the Appalachian Theater here in Boone. This is the second year of the festival, giving filmmakers across the region a bright opportunity to show their work.
I think there's just so many interesting things in our culture here and the pride we all have about it to come together as a community and see all the intricacies of our culture here in Appalachia.
Before the films were shown, the festival kicked off with a meet and greet. Filmmakers, media, and spectators discussed about films they've created and efforts that went with them. Some crew came from other countries to document the event. After a meet and greet with the filmmakers and judges, the theater opened its doors to the public. The show was split into 3 separate blocks, with 4 films in each. Every story had ties to the Appalachian region, from wholesome documentaries to sad but heartwarming tales. Liz Hillard, a wildlife biologist appearing in the short film The Search for Safe Passage by App State alumnus Garrett Martin, was pleased to show their film at this festival.
And at least from a wildlife standpoint, with our biodiversity here and being able to showcase our film here, there's so much pride in the wildlife around here. And so having the community be able to get around it and see what we're working on is important for us.
Several spectators came from across the region to watch the festival, many leaving sparkling reviews.
It was fantastic. I loved it. I mean, the films are awesome, and then having the guests come out, the filmmakers and the actors in the documentaries come out on stage afterwards was so cool.
I thought the movies were incredibly well made. I was really impressed with the quality of everything, and they were all extremely interesting. And having lived here for most of my life in this region, I learned a lot about Appalachian that I didn't know.
After the voting was done, Intermounting Flame by Andrew Cornelak won the jury award, and Brothers Like These by Ross Kaufman won the audience award. Although neither directors were able to make the event, Cornelak sent in a video to accept the award, and the subjects of Kaufman's documentary received the award on his behalf. According to Boondocks, they broke last year's attendance record, with some help by opening up the balcony for this year's event. And if you couldn't make this year's festival, don't worry, a date has already been set. So just make sure to mark your calendars for February 24th, 2024. Joshua Hemphill, Appalachian Weekly News. Midterms can be a stressful time for students. Luckily, one golden retriever has enough love for everyone to go around. Izzy the golden retriever, a therapy dog, was brought by her owners, Tony and Peggy Graham, to the Appalachian Wesley Foundation on campus to help students and churchgoers decompress after a tough midterm week.
As the weather begins to warm up, it's a perfect time to adopt a new 4-legged best friend. This Saturday, March 11th, Tractor Supply Company is hosting a pet adoption event. The event will take place from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the store on Old 421 South. Make sure to stop by and see what precious puppies and cuddly kittens they have for adoption. Every Tuesday, the Turchin Center for the Visual Arts hosts Tuesdays at Turchin. It alternates between open studio and paint night each week. I got the chance to go to paint night last week and see what it was all about. On Tuesday, the Turchin Center hosted paint night open to students where they could come and paint whatever they pleased. Attendees varied from graduate art students to very beginners. The art students running the event walked around and made sure everyone had materials they needed and inspiration if they needed some. Many art students came to finish projects they've been working on for classes, and some just came to paint for fun. I talked to student Annie Wolf, who told me why she came to paint night.
In high school, I took art classes, and I feel like ever since I got to App, I just haven't been in touch with my creative side. So I thought tonight would be a perfect opportunity for me to come and paint and be with art.
Like many, Annie enjoyed the opportunity to de-stress as we head into midterms week and just enjoyed the opportunity and creative freedom that paint night presented her. The students running the event even encouraged me to sit down, grab a paintbrush, and get creative. So if you're looking for an opportunity to let your creative juices flow, head on over to the Turchin Center where they host multiple paint nights through the semester. Hayden Autry, Appalachian Weekly News.
With the spring semester well underway, some students have found a way to enjoy their time out of classes with their own handmade crafts with student-made App State. Our reporter Johnny Nordello took time to visit the student organization and see what students create in their own time.
My name is Julia Raleigh. I'm a senior, and I have been a part of Student Made since January of 2021. I started off as an artist, and we were just selling on King Street, and then we started to gain a lot more artists, and eventually there were about 50 of us all working together.
Scene in 4E, take 2. Action.
Student Made store is across the country. We have a lot of different campuses and we're continuing to grow. And App State is one of the quickest growing campuses of all the campuses, which is very exciting.
Okay. Yeah, audio good. Sorry. Rolling? Camera rolling? Yeah. Scene 5A, take 2.
If you want to buy a product, you should go to our Instagram or our website, and you can buy it off of Instagram, but then our Instagram also links to the website, and on the website you can shop by product or by creator. So you can go, if you know a creator, you can go and find their picture and then see all of the artwork that they've made, or you can go and shop by the type of product that you want. And we have a lot of Boone and App State different themed products.
The business scene in Boone is changing quickly. As many new companies are coming into town, other companies appear to be leaving. This month is no exception, as Boone's Tuesday morning is set to close after the company filed for bankruptcy February 14th. Over 100 stores are set to close nationwide, including 17 in North Carolina. The company's statement on the matter reveals that they will close low-traffic stores in order to focus on high performance for their other locations.
Make sure you're paying close attention to signs when you're driving near the Recreation Center. A new traffic pattern went into effect this Monday on the corner of State Farm Road and Martin Luther King Jr. Street. Left turns will no longer be permitted between 4 and 6 p.m.
So a lot of the problems that we encountered at this intersection came from drivers stopping to make left turns. An increased amount of congestion made it unreasonably long amounts of time to leave the Watauga County Recreation Center and our Greenway Trail systems.
For more information on the new traffic pattern, you can contact Boone Town Hall or the Boone Police Department. Do you love hiking and pretty sunsets? If so, Grandfather Mountain has the perfect opportunity for you. Sunset at the Swinging Bridge is happening this Saturday from 5 to 7:15. This is a rare chance to be at the Mile High Bridge for sunset on top of Grandfather Mountain. Sunset will be at 6:31 p.m. and event goers must be out of the park by 7:15. Participants are encouraged to dress warm and wear rubber-soled shoes. For more information and to purchase tickets, visit grandfather.com/event/sunset-march.
Last week marked would have been the 100th birthday of a high country legend. You might know him from the bronze statue on King Street. The statue commemorates legendary bluegrass musician Doc Watson. Yesterday, the Blowing Rock Museum of Art and History celebrated the life of the 7-time Grammy Award winner by holding an event in his honor. Appalachian State University recognized members of the Lumbee Tribe of North Carolina on February 27th with the hanging of the Lumbee Tribal Flag and Plymouth Student Union. The ceremony, held in the solarium, had around 150 people in attendance, including Tribal Administrator Ricky Harris and North Carolina Commission of Indian Affairs Executive Director Greg Richardson. The Lumbee Tribal Flag is the second indigenous flag to be installed in the Student Union. The band hosted a ceremony for the Eastern Band of Cherokee flag in 2017.
If you were on the Parkway in Boone the last weekend of February, you may have witnessed an unusual fundraiser. A Greek organization here on campus sponsored the event to raise money for a well-deserving charity here in Boone. Our reporter Shannon Pendleton has more.
Domestic violence and sexual violence is something that everyone experiences. You've either seen it, heard about it, or experienced it yourself. One App State group, Sigma Kappa, hosted an event for the cause. This Greek organization decided to host an event called A Mile in Her Shoes to raise awareness and money for a local nonprofit in Boone called Oasis. Grace Douglas, the organizer of this event, talks about why she hosted the walk.
Basically, it was where we had male identifying people wear high heels and walk a lap around the Greenway in order to raise awareness for women's sexualized violence and women's domestic violence.
Oasis is committed to ending domestic violence and sexual violence in Watauga and Avery counties. Douglas talks about why it's important to know about the resources in your local community.
Unfortunately, this is a reality, so we wanted to raise awareness for that, and we also just want men to really, and male-identifying people to recognize that women's sexualized violence is something that happens, and intimate partner violence is something that unfortunately happens a lot, and I think everybody needs to be more aware of it.
There are many reasons why people choose to get involved in spreading the word. Braden Dobina, participant of the event, talks about why he walked a mile in hills.
Mostly to raise public awareness for difficult topics that some people don't understand or still struggle with today. I think that when it comes to events like this, the most people there, like just the pure number of people showing out helps a lot.
If you are a victim in need of some help or want to donate to Oasis, you can visit their website at oasisinc.org. I'm Shannon Pendleton for the Appalachian Weekly News.
At the end of February, students and residents alike joined on the stairs of the Turchin Center of Arts for a vigil to honor the victims of police brutality across the nation. Our reporter Jalen Sturdivant has the story.
To honor the end of Black History Month, student organizations such as Queening You, the Black Male Excellence Initiative, and Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated all came together to host a Black History Month vigil, which the purpose of this vigil is to honor all of the Black lives lost over the past years. Let's take a look.
And I look at where we are now as a country, as Black people, as a culture, even as a community. And I recognize that we have to stop and continually take stock of where we are, of what is happening, what is going on. The world around us wants to just keep moving and keep moving, but sometimes you have to be able to press pause and be in the moment. Not staring at a smartphone, not on the iPad, not on a computer, not staring at a screen, but press pause and be in the moment. Some people are afraid of their own thoughts. Some people are afraid and they can't do that. That's fine. But it's times like these that we can come together and recognize the collective strength that we do have. I'm encouraged by the fact that we are a resilient and strong people.
To honor the end of Black History Month and to honor all of the Black lives sadly lost through the years, this has been the Black History Month Vigil. For the Appalachian Weekly News, I'm Jalen Sturdivant.
Coming up after the break, App State Athletics had an eventful week.
Our wrestling team dominated in the SoCon Wrestling Championship last Saturday, while baseball won a thriller. Sports is next.
The SoCon Wrestling Championship was last weekend with some baseball games as well. Jeff, what do you have for us?
Yeah, you said it last Saturday, the Appalachian State Wrestling team capped off their phenomenal season at the SoCon Championship. The day-long event was held in Boone at the Holmes Convocation Center. Our reporter Judson Mabe has more on the event.
Heading into the SoCon Championship, App State Wrestling looked to end Campbell University's quest for a 5th straight championship win. Early on in the day, App State did just that, having multiple members win in back-to-back duels against conference opponents. Despite Campbell's past success, the Mountaineers were viewed as the favorite to win the tournament, coming off a strong season, as well as Coach John Mark Bentley winning SoCon Coach of the Year this year. Ranging from the quarterfinal events all the way to the finals, App State held first place in team standings with 103 points, leading Campbell University by 24.5. This proved to be the largest winning point margin since 2013.
Reporting from the Holmes Convocation Center, we're here for the 2023 SoCon Conference Wrestling Championship. The events are currently taking place in the semifinal round, with 5 different Mountaineers advancing to the finals round, which will be played later tonight at 7 p.m.
Heading into the finals round, App State saw 3 more members advance, making a total of 8 Mountaineers in the finals round. The finals consisted of 12 individual matches hosting an App State wrestler in nearly every weight class. Caleb Smith started things off in the 125-pound division with a victory, earning a bid to the NCAA tournament. App State also saw victories in the 149 and 157-pound weight classes with wins from John Milner and Tommy Askey. Additionally, the 174-pound Will Miller earned an NCAA allocation with a win in a true second-place finals match.
Caleb, just your first SoCon championship, just what are the emotions and the feelings coming out of a day like today?
Feelings of relief and hard work paying off. You know, the job's not done yet, but God gave me the chance to go out there and compete. But I got a chance to honor and glorify him today, and that's really the biggest thing I'm focused on. So I feel pretty good about it.
The App State baseball team played their first home series of the season against Gardner-Webb this past weekend. App State took the first game of the series on Saturday by a score of 12-11. With the bases loaded in the bottom of the ninth, catcher Hayden Cross hit a walk-off double to center field. On Sunday, however, it was a different story for App State. The bats remained hot, scoring 6 runs in the game, including 5 in the 7th inning alone. Unfortunately for the Mountaineers, the Runnin' Bulldogs bats were too much, and they dropped the finale 19-6. App State will be back home at Smith Stadium this weekend to host the 24th-ranked Campbell Camels for a 3-game series. The Mountaineers softball team is back in action this weekend in the MTSU Invitational. This will be the 4th in-season tournament that the team has played this season. App State will play 5 games over the weekend with games against Southern Illinois, Middle Tennessee State, Western Illinois, and Green Bay. The Mountaineers won their final 2 games in the Tennessee Classic last weekend and are 11-5 on the season. Hayden and Josh, back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Jeff. Spring break is here. Our reporter Ben Gosey has the story on. Our reporter Ben Gosey took the Plymouth Student Union to see what was going on for students in the upcoming break.
As spring break draws closer and midterms come to an end, many Mountaineers are preparing for their spring breaks. Let's find out what they're going to do on this week-long adventure.
I'm down to Wrightsville Beach with some friends for the weekend, and then I'm going home to Charlotte, North Carolina.
What are you doing for spring break? I'm going home and working because I'm broke. Loser. I'm going on a cruise.
We're going to Clemson to visit a friend, and then we're going home to Davie County to work. Yes.
I'm going down to Charleston tomorrow for a couple days for my dad, and then I'm going to Orlando.
I am taking a road trip to Georgia, and I'm going to be camping for a few days.
Probably going to go back home. I'm from Jackson, Mississippi, and then I'll probably end up going to the beach with some friends from home. So
I'm planning on going to Florida and just going crazy as much as I can. So yeah.
I'm going to the beach, trying to get warm.
Spring break, I'm going to be up here working. Hopefully try the new A&B hard sweet tea.
For spring break this year, I'm going home to spend time with my family.
Vacations aren't the only thing people are looking forward to. They also are looking forward to the time off of school and seeing their friends and family for the first time in months.
Looking forward to not being in school.
Not being in school.
Seeing my dogs and seeing my friends that go to Clemson.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing my dog and my family and just having some free time to not worry about school.
Probably seeing my family. I've missed them a lot. It's been a while since I've been home, so.
Looking forward to celebrating my mom's 50th birthday on Thursday.
Being Cocaine Bear, because I work at a movie theater.
Being able to
eat at nice restaurants.
I'm relaxing and trying to have some time to just decompress.
So Mountaineers, please enjoy your spring breaks. I'm Ben Gosey, Appalachian Weekly News.
That's all from us this week at the Appalachian Weekly News. I'm Hayden Autry.
And I'm Josh Hemphill.